So you get to move this loan from point A on line 1 to point B, line 12, in just 1 month. And the cost to move it now is not $11,070, but only $930, the interest cost on line 1.
Amazing.
Isn't that something?
It really is.
So once we understand that, real estate investors can get equity faster and cheaper by not giving the bank all of that interest money. And you know, my real estate investors, you know what they're doing?
What's that?
They are setting aside already, even before I talk to them, they're setting aside out of their rent money that they're receiving, a portion of that rent money in a separate account to do maintenance and repairs on their buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing something similar?
A little.
A little.
Not a lot.
Okay, but it doesn't take, you see, it doesn't take a whole lot to save money and interest.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give you an example of that? Do you have a calculator handy?
On my phone.
That's fine.
Uh-huh.
You can still hear me if you do this. So bring up your calculator, because Kenyatta loves this. When people start talking about, I have a little, but not a lot. Well, we don't need a lot. We just need a little.
Okay.
Because we're going to learn something, what I call the power of the penny.
Okay.
I pick up pennies in the parking lot.
Well, that makes sense.
Exactly. Because if it makes sense, it makes dollars.
That's right.
That's right. I pick up those pennies. So y'all keep throwing them away because I pick them up. So here's what I need you to do. All right. On line 2, our interest payment is $928.66. You're going to put that $928.66 in your calculator. And in my calculator, I'm going to put in, let me put this up here, pull up my calculator. In my calculator, I'm going to put in the principal payment for line 2, which is $403.33. Okay. All right. So if I prepay the $403.33, I don't have to pay the $928.66 from line 2. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Well, what if I don't have $403? What if I have half that? So I'm going to divide mine by 2.
Okay.
Okay. So now I've got 201.66. 201.66. So if I prepay that, I should be able to save half the interest, correct?
Right.
So take your 928.66, divide yours by 2. Tell me what you get.
464.33.
So would it still be worth it if I only had 201 to prepay? I could save over $400 in interest. Would it still be worth it?
Absolutely.
Really? So we're looking at the wrong thing, aren't we? We're looking at how $200 doesn't move the principal balance that much when we should be focused on how much interest we save.
Right.
The more interest we save, the faster we get out of debt and the faster we earn equity.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But guess what? I don't have $201. Guess what I'm getting ready to do?
What?
I got $100.83. You're going to divide yours by 2 again. So if I prepay $100, how much interest can I save?
Okay, so my
You're going to divide yours by 2 again.
464.33.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And divide that by 2.
232.16.
So I can save $232.16 if I prepay $100. Is that still worth it?
Still worth it.
Guess what? I don't have $100.
Yeah.
I've divided mine by 2 again. I have $50.41. Divide yours by 2 again. How much money am I saving in interest?
$116.08.
Wow. I got $50. A lowly $50. And I can save $100 in interest. You know, if everybody knew this, would it make a difference?
It would change the whole system in this country.
Oh,
If everybody knew it.
if everybody knew that. But guess what? I don't have $50.40. I'm going to divide by 2 one more time. So I'm going to divide it by 2. I have $25.20. Now, how much interest can I save?
$58.04.
You know, I can come up with $25. I can find $25.
Yes.
And if I put it on my mortgage, it's not going to do very much to the principal, but it will save me $50 in interest. You know why I know that's significant?
Why is that?
Because if you invested $25 and you made a $50 return, you would think that's great.
Correct. Right.
That's how what I know to be true. So folks, when we want to know, you can actually do the math using our system, which does the math for you, because math needs to be done. Now you know how important it is to do the math, because you've been paying extra on loans for a long time, whether it's a mortgage or credit card or student loan or a car loan. You put extra on a loan before, haven't you?
Yes.
Has the bank ever told you how much interest you saved?
Never.
If they had, it'd be a game changer, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
This is why we do it. This is why we make sure people know how much to pay and when to pay it. We tell you how much money to move, what month to move it in, because you don't do this every month, only at strategic times during the year. How much money to move, what month to do it in, which day of the month to make the payment, and which loan to attack so that you can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar. And we do that without disrupting your budget and without sacrificing lifestyle.
Wonderful.
So if you're looking to build equity at 5 times the regular rate at a much lower interest cost so that you can cash out refi, a lot of investors get that equity. They cash out refi, take the cash out and invest in other properties. What if you could do that 5 to 7 to even 10 years sooner because of this type of system? Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would.
All right. So what we do is that we have a computer program that tells you exactly what to do, just like financial GPS. So at the top of our screen here on Clubhouse, it says savings report request. Everybody who wants one, okay, can plug in and say, you know what? I've got this mortgage. I've got these student loans. I've got these credit cards. I got all this debt. And you can click on that button and put in your financial information. And you can know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save. Once you put that information in, somebody from my staff will give you a call and set up a consultation. And you can know when you're going to be out of debt and how much interest you can save. Now, if you're a real estate investor, how would you like to know which loans to attack so that you can put yourself in a position to cash out refi years sooner and you don't have to pay a ton of interest to get there? Wow. So if we do it the traditional way, let's just say on this loan, you want to take out $100,000. Okay. So do you realize just to get it down to $100,000 just by paying off the loan, it would take 180 payments? That's 15 years. And it would cost you $142,000 in interest to get it. A little over 15 years to do that. What if you could get there in 5 to 7 years and pay about $60,000 in interest instead?
Wonderful.
That's what we do. And I'd be glad to do it for you. Do you have any other questions for me this morning, ma'am?
No, that's it, Don. And I also have your book. You know, I'm a candidate. I'm going to be a part of the P.I.L.L method.
Come on now. I love that. All right. So when did you get the book?
Over a year ago.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, listen, sometimes it takes a little bit more study, but listen, we're going to be working with you. Go to ICE 10K, like you found up there, getting your savings report and fill out that information, just like we showed you. And someone from my staff will get a hold of you, and then we'll take you the rest of the way. All right.
Thanks so much.
Get your savings report done. Thank you very much.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.